Hello everyone, this is Sharpedo43 once again, bringing you all week 9 of the NGDL. In this battle we're going to be facing Zakatak and the San Diego Chargabugs, and obviously we're going to try to recover from that one loss that I got against Toronto Pier, where I got like super angry for the dumbest of reasons obviously, but I mean, I am who I am, unfortunately, so please understand. But anyways, I'm going to be bringing this team, which consists of Heliolisk. I think this Heliolisk is actually Timid Scarf because he has stuff that can set up Dragon Dances. And remember that I mentioned in a lot of my Wi-Fi battles that any Pokemon that can set up Dragon Dances is usually a problem for me once it gets going. So that's why I packed Scarfed Heliolisk here with Hidden Power Ice. It has Thunderbolt for Gyarados, obviously, and it's an electric type, so of course it's going to carry it. Skarmory is a typical defensive set with Stealth Rocks. Gallade is I think an expert build set with Leaf Blade and Knockoff and Ice Punch and Drain Punch, I think. Just for the coverage of the variety of his team. Just to cover his team, because a lot of the coverage moves that Gallade can get can actually cover the majority of his team. So I was like, yeah, might as well get that. And I'm going to carry my Milotic, which is also very, very defensive. I think it's more Spadef invested than defensive, since I already have Skarmory as a defensive wall, and it's also just in case he has something like special attacking Lapras or special attacking Bronzong or something, or the Delphox can also be very hard here in the special side too, with Psychic and whatnot. Then I have Sylveon, which I think this one is actually Choice Specs as well, which is a standard Sylveon set, and Sharpedo as usual, it's always Sharpedo. So yeah, but looking at his team, he brings pretty much the majority of what I expected. I think the only thing I wasn't expecting was him to bring the God Bulu, because there's a lot of coverage for Bulu, honestly. So either way, let's get into the battle. I'm gonna lead off with Heliolisk, and he's gonna lead off with Bronzong. Now here, obviously, I'm gonna just do Volt Switch. Another good thing about this guy's team is that he doesn't have any Volt Switch immunity once again, which is another reason why I led with Heliolisk right here, because now I get to just pivot and go into whatever I want. He's gonna go into, or I'm gonna go into Skarmory, get up the rocks, because I know his rocks are coming. So if he's gonna get rocks up, I might as well get mine as well, you know. So yeah, this is the leftovers Bronzong, so I don't have to worry about any ridiculous Z move Bronzong, because that would actually be kind of crazy. It'd be like Electrium Z just for Skarmory or something, which would be kind of annoying, not gonna lie. But here he's gonna switch out his Bronzong, and he's actually gonna go into the Delphox now. Which, yeah, it's a good switch in, and he probably saw the rocks coming from Skarmory as well, so I was like, okay, what I'm going to do here is actually switch out into my Milotic, hoping for goodness sake he doesn't predict me and go for Grass Knot. So, and from there I'm going to, okay, so he's going to go for Flamethrower, which is really, really good. But what I'm going to do right here with my Milotic now is actually go for the Mirror Code. I have Flame Orb run this because I think this is Spadef invested Milotic, but in case his physical attackers are a problem, I do have Flame Orb to get the Marble Scale at least. But yeah, here I go for Mirror Code because I thought he was going to probably try to switch it up to Grass Knot here, but he doesn't. He just switches into Lapras. However, because he saw a Mirror Code coming from my Milotic, I think this discouraged him to keep Lapras around and actually go into his the God Bulu, which is Tapu Bulu. And as a result, I'm just going to be like forced to switch, obviously. I'm going to go back into Skarmory because it's the one thing that can take any hit from this Tapu Bulu whatsoever. Not to mention my Skarmory is relatively healthy right now, so I can definitely switch it in, risking a possible like superpower or something, which I think is like the only move that can hit Skarmory really, really hard, honestly. But yeah, I'm going to switch out because I do not want to risk staying in and just taking a Wood Hammer or something. So I'm just going to go straight into Skarmory. He does go for the, what's it called, Wood Hammer right here, after I take Stealth Rocks damage. And looking at the damage, I feel like it's not Choice Banded. I feel like maybe it's Scarfed or something. So what I'm going to do here is now Whirlwind, because I don't think he's going to want to stay in. Because he saw the Rocky Helmet damage on, the Rocky Helmet from Skarmory, so he's going to definitely want to switch out. I knew he was going to switch out here. I didn't know into what though. He goes into Delphox, but I'm like, okay, that's fine because it takes Stealth Rocks damage, and now I'm just gonna phase it away because I don't want it. I don't want Delphox, obviously. That's not a very good matchup for Skarmory. But I am gonna phase him into this thing, which is Salamence. Now this thing I was actually particularly scared of because I was afraid of this thing having Fire Blast for my Skarmory or even Flamethrower, and I was afraid that it could have probably KO'd because there are a lot of mixed Salamence running around, with some of them even with special attack investment, so I kind of was afraid he would have a fire move for Skarmory that's on the special side to basically negate the defenses or something. So I switched into Milotic. He does go for Dragon Dance, which was another thing I was worried about, but I mean, there was nothing I could do, honestly. It was either risk taking a Fire Blast or risk getting Flyinium Z right here by this guy, because he's actually gonna carry the, not Flyinium Z, Dragonium Z, which actually was surprising. I was actually, if he was gonna carry a Z move, I was gonna anticipate more of the Flyinium Z, because I think Flyinium Z has better coverage. But I guess it's more so for the Outrage move, because here, as you can see, this Devastating Drake is actually going to be enough to take out my Milotic. Although, granted, it's not defense invested, so to an extent it kind of didn't matter. And plus, he was at +1, so now at +2. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is getting kind of scary, so I'm going to do exactly what I prepared my healer list for. Any Dragon Dancing freaking Mon like Salamence or Gyarados. So what I'm going to do here is obviously scare him away, go for Hidden Power Ice. He decides to stay in, and I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that, honestly. I thought he was going to anticipate that and go into something else, but he probably didn't have any switch-ins either, so I was like, okay, that's probably why he stayed in. But now he gets a free switch into the God Bulu. And of course I'm going to have to switch out because I am locked into Hidden Power Ice, but I don't think that's going to be enough to take out this Tapu Bulu, and obviously I still need Heliolisk for the Gyarados, because that Gyarados can also set up Dragon Dance, and that's one of the biggest fears of my life right now. Not really, but you know, in the game at least. And now I'm just going to switch into Skarmory. Now here, I think the switch was more obvious this time, and he actually went for Superpower, and I don't think he loses much for going for it, because it doesn't, not a whole lot of my team takes it very well, actually. So he made the right play going for Superpower, but, yeah. As a result, now I think I just lose Skarmory, because the Skarmory was not very healthy when it took the Superpower, so as a result, it's just going to go down to another one. And now here, yeah, he's -2 now, which allows me to send in whatever I want. Like, this thing could be setup fodder, if anything. So I think what I do here was actually, I kind of wanted to just go for game here and just send in Sharpedo. I was gonna send it in just so I can go for the Protect on the off chance that this Tapu Bulu is Scarfed, because he hasn't gone for any other move, honestly. Like, I haven't seen him switch up his moves from one move to another, honestly, unless I missed it somewhere, but I didn't see it, honestly. So yeah, he's gonna switch into Lapras. I went for Protect thinking he would probably stay in, but he didn't, because honestly, I thought he would stay in, just even though he was at -2, because Tapu Bulu hits really, really hard. That even at -2, a Superpower on a frail mon like Sharpedo would definitely KO, honestly. I think so, anyways. I could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, I mean, what can you do? I don't know much about the games. I don't really do my calcs, honestly. But yeah, here he's gonna go. I'm gonna go into Gallade, switching out, because I'm afraid of any like Thunderbolts or something. He actually goes for Freeze Dry. I was like, oh crap, I better not freeze. I don't freeze, thankfully, so as a result, now I get to scare this thing out. And here's where I decided to go for the Leaf Blade instead of going for the Drain Punch, because first of all, it hits the Gyarados relatively hard, and Drain Punch wouldn't. So I figured, you know what, it would be very ideal if I can just get the Leaf Blade off here. Not to mention, it's also boosted by the grassy terrain too, so I figured, yeah, this is pretty nifty, just getting the Leaf Blade off. He gets the Intimidate off, but thanks to the grassy terrain, it's as if I didn't even get the Intimidate at all, so that's actually really good for me. Now here, I switch out, once again just fearing the possible Dragon Dance attempt. So I switch out Gallade and go straight into Heliolisk. I am risking the possible Earthquake on this thing, but I mean, I just had to make this play because I was afraid of him getting that Dragon Dance up. I didn't want him to get to +2, honestly, because if I stay in, this Gyarados lives, and then I switch out, it'll get +2 Dragon Dance, so I didn't want that. So I switched in, but he actually goes for Waterfall, which is actually really, really, really good for me, because now I get HP back with Heliolisk, and now I'm free to just Volt Switch, because if he switches out, I just get some switch advantage, which I do here. I go for Volt Switch on the incoming Bronzong, and now here I believe I just go back into Gallade to get a knockoff off. I think here I could have just gone into Sharpedo and just crunch and then crunch everything else. Oh, but I think the problem was that I didn't want to get intimidated by the Gyarados, which is why I didn't send it in just yet. But yeah, I go for knockoff right here, just to knock off this Bronzong. I get a crit. I don't think that crit mattered, honestly, because it's a knockoff, and I think this Gallade was probably Adamant. I think I could be wrong though, but I think it was Adamant. And here comes Gyarados, which also, yeah, I think it was Adamant, because even Jolly doesn't outspeed Gyarados anyway, so I figured, yeah, run Adamant instead. So I think it was Adamant. So yeah, here he's gonna go for Crunch on the switch in the Gyarados. I just go for Leaf Blade just to finish this thing off. This is another extreme threat out of the way because any Dragon Dancing Mon that gets going is gonna instantly be a threat. But now he's just gonna go back into the God Bulu, and it's just gonna finish off my Gallade with a Horn Leech, I believe. Which, yeah, I have no switch-ins for a Horn Leech, obviously, so I have to let Gallade go down here. So now that he's got that out of the way, that crit obviously doesn't matter because obviously I was low in HP, obviously. So now here I'm gonna go into, I believe, I think it's Sharpedo. Yeah, I do go into Sharpedo. I think this is where I go for game finally. I'm gonna go for a Protect on the off chance that this thing is Scarfed. But he is gonna switch out once again, mono moving everything so far. Like he's not switching it up every time. He's actually I felt like he was probably Choice Scarf, which is why I wanted to insisted on going for Protect basically. Here he switches into Lapras. Now here he takes Rocks damage, which is good because I honestly don't know if I'm able to take out this Lapras with one Crunch, honestly. So, but he does get some recovery from the grassy terrain, but it's still under half. And my Mega Sharpedo I think is still jolly, but I mean I have to think about it. It's a Stab Crunch from a Strong Jaw boosted Sharpedo with 140 base attack. This has to kill, right? It has to kill. It does kill, thankfully. Which is really excellent because honestly, if this thing lived, it would have just Freeze Dry my Sharpedo and then I think I would have lost there, honestly, because I don't think my Loda can do anything to this Tapu Bulu that he still had in the back of his team. Only Sharpedo can because, first of all, this Tapu Bulu is weakened, so even Ice Fang would have done it, but I actually carried Poison Jab on the off chance that this Bulu was preserved till the very, very end, not taking any damage whatsoever. And as a result, being able to take an Ice Fang even. So I decided to go with Poison Jab just so I can X4 weak that and just one-shot it. So here he's just going to go into the last Pokemon and just, which is Delphox, and take a Crunch because, yeah. And that's going to be the whole game. So the Sylmar Sylveons are going to take this battle, thankfully. It's going to be 3-0 in our favor. And we're going to now be standing at 7-1. No, 8-1 actually. Yeah, 8-1. Because 7-1 was prior to the battle. But now that we've won, now we're 8-1. Which is pretty nice. And and once again, I actually got another late game Sharpedo sweep, which is, you know, that's always a pretty cool thing to see, in my opinion anyway. But yeah, that's going to be week 9. Hope you guys stay tuned for week 10, and thank you all for watching this battle, and I'll catch you guys later.